The Cosmic Portal welcomes you. And please, subscribe for more.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Jedi Joe. I am the host of the Roundtable. Welcome to 757 Geek Fandoms. And of course, as you know, the producer and owner and operator of the Cosmic Portal is right here with us today and putting on all this movie magic, as you see, with the display and our graphics. So we thank him so much for what he does. As always, we also have the executive vice president, Big L himself. And then, of course, our Knights of the Round Table with us and joining us on this great evening. Guys, we're talking about some fandom talk. We got 3 different topics we're going to kind of run through rather quickly. But in return, we hope that we can maybe educate you, maybe give you some advice, and then we may learn something as well from each other. So each of us came from different parts of the world, probably coming from different areas, have been to different conventions, collect all sorts of different things, and maybe, just maybe, touched into the world of cosplaying. So, with a thumbs up and a thumbs down, do you like going to conventions? Okay. All right. Do you like collecting your fandoms? Okay. All right. Taco Cat, I'm just gonna imagine your response since I don't have your picture, so I'm gonna just imagine your stuff.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And let's see. I said cosplay. Do we like the conventions? Okay.
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Everybody's good there. All right. Well, my question to you is also, again, thumbs up, thumbs down. No. I like to make that more of a discussion. Let's make that a discussion, guys. Do you think cosplaying is a form of art? We will start with Big L himself, since he is not in our area and he's traveling around the world. Sir, good to see you.
Thank you. I'm a little tired. I'm a little wired, so y'all have to forgive me. I'm a little jet lagged, I guess. Do I think cosplay is a form of art? Absolutely. It's an art and expression of you as the individual based on your fandom. So, if you're cosplaying, whether it's, a homemade or you bought the costume or whatever, it's your expression of art that, you're dedicating to your fandom. So absolutely, I think it is art.
Okay. And again, with that being said, you put some stuff together yourself, but yet I've also seen you bought some pre-made stuff. Which one do you kind of like better, the pre-made or the one that you put together yourself? Yeah.
Most time the ones I put together myself, because I factor in the fact that I am a bigger guy, so it's going to be hot. So I try to factor that into it, and the ones that are pre-made don't normally take that into account. So, I'm walking around in this big get-up that is, 80 pounds of fabric, and it's hotter than a witch's titty in a brass bra in some places. So it's one of those things where I just can't do it for long periods of time. But the ones that I put together, I do try to factor in the fact that it's going to be hot, and it's not so much that time of year. It's just the fact that with all the people in there, there's not a lot of ventilation to help with those aspects.
Okay. All right. Very good. Miss Liz, how about you? Do you think cosplaying is an art?
Yes, of course. And generally, when I do mine, I usually do stuff I gathered together myself and then stuff that is pre-made because I don't have the talent to do some of the pre-made stuff. So to complete the outfit, you usually have to buy the accoutrement, stuff that goes with it, if you know what I mean,
Right.
like weapons and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know me, I got a whole closet full.
Yep. Okay. No problem. We'll get to some of that later. So hold that to your thought. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Wire. Glad you could say hello to us. And please, if you have a question for us, let us know. We'd love to entertain it. Our Sith Lord, please, sir, do you believe that cosplaying is in some sort of art form, like
Um,
being an artist or being an author? Do you feel that it has some sort of artistic ability?
well, absolutely. To me, kind of, it's like the purest form of art form. Um, it's a form of flattery when you're emulating a character or in fandom that you enjoy. It's even more rewarding when you're doing a character that you may have created as well. Um, I am I would love to be that person that would be able to just, buy everything that you can for that particular costume. Big L said, I'm kind of a big guy myself, so doing the creating is more rewarding for me, especially if I personally done it myself. That basically, I'm wearing it and I said, hey, I did this myself. So, yeah, I absolutely think it's an art form, and I personally would want to create it myself so that it's more breathable. And if I do need to take it off, because again, those conventions can be stuffy at times, I can and still be able to function with my outfit.
Okay. Okay. Very good. These next two gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are what I like to call getting ready to do a great event coming up. They're doing Mando Fest. So I know in secret that they have been working on their Mando gear. So I got to find out from them. Yes, are they thinking that this is some sort of art form, or is it just putting pieces together? Please, Rob, we'll start with you.
Um, Cosplay is most definitely an art form. You see people that do everything from paper mache to full on manufacturing welding stuff to make cosplays. It's amazing the different things that people do to make cosplays. It's 100% an art form, and it is just wonderful seeing.
Yeah, and I be honest, I have seen some of your stuff from start to finish, and very, 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 very excited about your stuff, Mr. Calibus Rand. I know you to be a cosplayer as well. I know you work on some stuff. I know you have some few things. So please, sir, is it? Are you an artiste yourself? Tell me about it.
I am not an artiste. I'm struggling with two cosplays right now. One, I'm trying to get ready for Tidewater Con, a big DC reveal headed by Big L, or should I say Detective Garrett. And now I got two. I got what? I got 3 pieces in for my Mandalorian armor. I still had Rob as a reserve, making a gauntlet for me. So you know what I mean. I'm pushing things to the wire to get it all done. But I've seen some beautiful pieces. I prefer those who actually make their costumes, their cosplays. Um, Anybody with money can buy a cosplay, but when you take the time to sand, sew, glue, watch whatever it is that you're watching or taking from a picture and making it real, that shows creativity and dedication. You know what I mean? Versus you just buying it offline and walking around in it. Uh, Rob is a great example of that. There's been, I look at some of his stuff and go, wow. And now that he's got a 3D printer, it's just like he's like, hey, check this out today. And I'm like, damn, okay. You know what I mean? So very excited to see a lot of these things happen. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some of us that, you have to piece your stuff together. You're buying this, not all of us can afford to get whatever. But it's just like the Jedi robes. I didn't sew any of those things. I had to buy it. I have a whole Sith costume. Well, at least the top. I had to go out and buy that. But that was bit by bit by bit by bit. Then, of course, you have to put it all together. You have to put it all on, and it's hard. So, it is really hard. And like Big L says, it's hot. If any of you have been in anything like that, and now I'm getting ready to put a bucket on my head in May, and now I'm kind of like going, was this a smart move? So, you know what I mean? I don't have any fans or anything in my bucket because I don't want to go that far out. You know what I mean? I'm going to remove my helmet anyway. But it can be a wonderful thing. It can be a wonderful thing, but not when you gatekeep and you don't let others participate because you say they're not the right body shape or they don't have the right on-screen accuracy to be a part of your club. I think that's bull.
I definitely understand exactly where you're going with. Taco Cat, do you think that cosplay is an art form?
Oh, yes, it is. It is. I met a lot of people cosplay a lot in comic books, a lot. And I met a lot of people on the internet saw that. Like Facebook, a lot. It is. And
Now, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the pictures I've seen you in, I see you in some sort of kind of a cosplay too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see a lot of pics of my Star Wars pics on the internet. A long time now.
So Marky Mark just says that just don't hate on the people that buy cosplays. I admit I'm one of those. But, sometimes there are particular costumes that we can't just put together. And then there's some that we can. So we definitely appreciate that info. One of our longest members and Knights of the Round Table, Mr. Brad, do you, sir? I'm not sure of your cosplay experience, but I know you've seen it. Do you think it's a great art form? Could you do it yourself? Your thoughts?
Well, it is an art form. Unfortunately, I'm not good at it. I have to buy a costume. I cannot make one.
And I know people too that do that. I think sometimes it can be an art form to buy your pieces and slowly put it together like Legos. So I guess it takes some time to figure it out. So I could agree with you on that one as well. So great move, guys. So going to switch to another category here. Collecting. Oh my gosh. We collect all sorts of things from action figures to comics to buttons, to shirts, t-shirts, shoes. The list goes on and on. This is a two-part question, so be prepared. Is it an addiction or is it something else? And what do you collect? Big L, we'll start with you.
Is it an addiction? I don't want to admit that it is, but it can be. But it's more of, do you have the means to put the time and money into certain things that you want to collect? If you do, then it's really not an addiction per se. It's more of you got big boy money and you want to buy big boy toys. Plain and simple. Now you have to factor in, do you have bills to pay that, and all that kind of stuff, then you got to play with that money as well. But it's kind of a double-edged sword there. Some people can go overboard and be addicted to collecting, some things, and it becomes an addiction, like an entire room dedicated to something is probably an addiction. But if you've got 2 or 3 pieces of one thing and whatever, then it all depends. I mean, I have half a room dedicated to Star Trek. So is it an addiction? I don't know. Did I pay for half of it? Absolutely not. So it's a lot of it's been gifted. So it's one of those things where I guess you gotta pick and choose what you would consider an addiction. Now, like I said, I collect a lot of Star Trek stuff. I collect a lot of Batman stuff. The other half of that room pretty much is Batman stuff. Some of you have seen my office. It is very decked out in Star Trek one side, Batman the other. Ab has decided to throw her Joker crap in there as well. Granted, I know Joker's part of Batman, but Batman is Batman and Joker, is Joker. And because I love her and I enjoy sleeping in the bed, not on the couch, I let her put her crap in there as well. Now, as far as her Nightmare Before Christmas crap, that stays in a different room. I can't deal with that in my sanctum of sanity. So that has to go by the wayside. I'll help support her in all she wants to do, but that stays in another room that I only close my eyes at night to look at. So I'm good. That's about it. That's all I'm going to say on that one before I get myself in trouble.
Okay. Well, I know Ab's not there to hear, but if she is watching, I'm on her side because we the jokers. She's the female, I'm the male. So yes, Batman universe, we're going to stick with it. So, Miss Liz, same question, 2 parts.
I'd say most people would consider me addicted to everything.
That's simple enough.
My entire house, from floor to ceiling, is collections of one thing or another. And if any of you've ever been to my back bedroom, in the collector's room, that's my poison. And
okay.
I have everything. I do everything.
Okay, well, I would say
it started out as just Star Trek, and it has blossomed over the years.
So we can call it obsession.
Yes, I would consider it obsession.
Okay.
Star Trek, Star Wars, SG-1, Disney. I'd say those are the main ones. And then, of course, I have one small section where I went through a football, baseball card period, which I outgrew.
Okay.
And then I used to have comic books, but most of my comic books grew legs and walked because I left them at my mother's house, and they pretty much, almost all of them vanished.
All right. Rob?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What was the other part of the question?
Yo, you've already answered it all.
Okay.
Rob, do you have an obsession?
Yes. All I gotta say is, don't buy that first thing, because once you do, it's all downhill from there. You just buy the next one. Oh, well, that one's not going to be that much more. And then you've got a whole wall of swords. Then you got a whole wall of Star Wars helmets. Then you got a whole row of action figures from Star Trek. And it just keeps growing. So if you can avoid buying that first one, do it.
Tips and tricks comes later, but you don't want to upset nobody right now. Mr. Sith Lord, is the collecting obsession for you, or is it an addiction?
I don't have an addiction. I can quit anytime I want to. No, I'm joking. Yes, I do have an addiction. I'm a big Vader fan, so I do collect a lot of different Vader stuff. My family gives me Darth Vader stuff. Yes, I have my collection has streamed over to my office at my job. All my Star Wars stuff is over there. collect Legos, and yeah, basically a lot of Star Wars stuff. But as I said, it's not really that much of an addiction. I can stop anytime I want to. But
Okay.
so
I'm gonna say, because you are a Sith Lord, so this is not a personal attack, but I think you're lying to me. I think that if I took Star Wars away from you right now, because I know you from another place too, and I know your secrets, so you can't tell me that at all. I think you would be like maybe 5 minutes, and you'd be like, "Oh no, I'm going back." So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, sir. I know who you are.
how about 2 minutes? How about 2 minutes? I wouldn't be able to last.
All right. I'll give you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Taco Cat. Your collection, is it an addiction or is it an obsession? What is it to you, sir?
Addicted because I had all the Star Wars toys. I'm so addicted, like Hot Wheels right now. Hot Wheels. Because I got all the Batman car Hot Wheels, and I had like two. I got 2 Star Trek toys, 1 Green Lantern, and all the Star Wars toys in my room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also think that you're you kind of seem to like a lot of old vintage gaming too, don't you?
Yes. And
Okay.
D&D dice and Magic card too.
Okay. All right. I definitely say that you measure up. Brad, your addiction or your obsession? Is it? What is it? Oh, you muted.
I haven't bought much of anything lately, so I'd consider it more of an obsession than an addiction. But I have so many different collections going at the same time that if I bought into all of them, I wouldn't have any money ever. I've got Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, all of that stuff. I've got a collection of them. I've got a collection of Nutcrackers. I've got a collection of glass ornaments. I've got a collection of Star Trek. I've got Star Wars collectibles. I've got way too much stuff to keep buying stuff. So I
think you kind of come to that standards.
What I do is I tell my mom about it, and then my mom will tell my sister, and my sister will help my mom with my addiction. So they buy me Christmas and my birthday, and just keep it going.
That's how it rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, Calibus Rand. I know he's addicted. I see it in the back of him. He ain't got nothing to tell me. Go ahead, sir. Is it your obsession or is it your addiction?
These little things have become an obsession. It's obscene. I opened boxes and I've got boxes of these little guys, and it was because I figured they were cheaper than buying the $20 action figures, but then I started buying them and now they're all on the walls. Didn't like lightsabers. Now I got 9 of them. Yeah. Star Wars, ever since The Mandalorian has came back, has started, has been too much of an obsession. Where I'm looking at 6 buckets, 2 custom, 4 store bought. It's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. And then it's even worse when you have to have your friends come help fix some of your stuff, because I had a Lego Millennium Falcon and I had to go to Abby. And then Abby went ahead and did something even more special. She put lights running through all it. And it stays right here at arm's length. No one touches it. No one gets near it. I don't want you breathing on it. So yeah, it's an obsession. I mean, the more you buy, the more they come out with something, or they revamp something from your childhood that you had. Mm-hmm. I've got 10 Millennium Falcons. in various forms, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. And like Big L said, you really have to. I have to budget out everything that I can do. And half the time, I'm so grateful that they have those things where they come out. They'll show you the product, but it's not coming out until 2025 in the fall. So I'm like, great. Now I got time to save up for it to go get it, or go down to GameStop and drop $20 on it, and hopefully I don't forget about it until it gets up here. You know what I mean? So, it's a bad addiction. I couldn't live without half of my stuff. And then, of course, with Keaton coming back, and that was the last Batman from the Flash for Ben Affleck. I had to get the Bat Cycle. You know what I mean? So it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Luckily, there's nothing good for Star Trek that's come out that I have to get. So I've been blessed on that note. But Star Wars, man, it's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing my wallet. And then poor Miss Liz goes up to Galaxy's Edge, and she's like, "Calibers, if you want anything," and I'm like, "I shouldn't, but yeah, I do. I want this." So it's an expensive obsession.
Well, that's and real quick, mine Calibus has taken a little bit out of his mouth. Millennium Falcons, I am guilty of it. It's one of my favorite ships. I bought 2 pops at a local club. They were doing something called Watto's Salvage Yard, and it was basically a yard sale amongst us geeks. And he warned me. He was like, "Alan, don't buy these pops because they're addictive." And yes, we have some from all different types of basically heroes, universes, and then even holidays. So it can be kind of a rough thing to get involved. Let's see what Mr. Wyatt has to say. Worst part is what you buy gets killed or blown up. Yes, I do agree with you, Mr. Wyatt. Don't let Calibus Rand buy it, or it ends up being destroyed later on. No offense, Calibus. No offense.
I'm still looking for that. The Ghost. I told Jim to go ahead and buy it. I know Simon bought it from HasLab, so if Jim gets one, I'm going to get it from him, and then we'll see what happens to the Ghost. See if the Calibus curse is real.
I hope not. And God damn it, sorry guys, but don't you dare get near my Millennium Falcon, or we're both going to be crying, and it's going to be a sad day for all of us.
No. There's going to be 3 people crying because I've got to deal with Abby fixing both of them again. So don't even start with that.
Hey, look, it's already cursed. They gave the Millennium Falcon the ring.
I didn't even give it to Chewie. With it, okay? I'm going to jump in here and say, you 2 break shit. I got to deal with her fixing it. You don't have to listen to her. I do. So you break them, I'm breaking my foot off in your ass.
Well, that's the end of collecting, everybody. So we're moving on. That's what it's all about, guys. We like having fun on here. So some of us here on the round table are local, and then there's some of us that are kind of outside of the area that we're in. When I ask this question, I'm not trying to put one down or the other one down, but maybe describe your dislikes and likes. But what type of convention do you like, and which ones? So here in the local area, we have all sorts of library cons, little conventions, that sort of thing. But then we also have some of the big dogs, Tidewater Comic Con, Galaxy Con, that sort of thing. And then maybe in Florida or down in Carolina, there might be some as well. So kind of give me an insight on your favorite conventions that you like to go to, or what type. Do you like a smaller one, a bigger one? Let's go ahead and start with Miss Liz, since she's been to a whole bunch of them.
Well, given a choice, I kind of like the medium-sized ones where you can actually go and associate and talk and basically get to rub elbows with the celebrities and whatnot, where you actually get to talk to them and you don't have to, be segregated. I like it better that way. You get to actually get to know them as a human being instead of this, commodity that you have to, basically fork over the cash to get 30 seconds with them.
Right.
So, giving my choice, I will go with the medium cons where you can actually associate with them. The big cons are good as long as you're not. If you want to go to like panels and stuff like that, and you don't have to worry about, you don't want to go meet somebody. And I like conventions where I can go and see my friends and actually associate with friends that you only get to see when you go to a convention. Like
Sure.
when we used to go down to Dragon Con, the only time I got to see my group of friends down at Dragon Con is when I would go down to Dragon Con because they didn't live in the,
Mm.
local area. So that was the only time I ever got to see them. And that goes for some of the other conventions that I went to. The only time I ever got to see was like a family reunion. The only time you got to see them is, when you go to the convention. We got the one coming up now, which is RavenCon, and a lot of people at RavenCon, I only get to see them when I go to RavenCon. That kind of thing. So basically, I like conventions where I can basically socialize with people and
Very good.
not be, shoved down the, where it's so crowded you can't even talk to anybody, if you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Very good. Brad, how about you, sir?
Well, I like the small ones. The big conventions, a lot of times they're overpacked and it's hard to move around. If you try to go into the vendor area, you really can't get a good look at the tables. So you'll miss what you're looking for. Um, the small cons, you've got all the time in the world to walk around the tables. And
Mm.
the medium sized one, it depends who you're there to see. But
Sure.
in my area, we have the small ones that we have here in Greenville. If you want the larger one, you have to go to Raleigh.
Right. GalaxyCon, I believe, goes to Raleigh, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, they got some big stars coming. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Mr. Rob Ash.
I go to a lot of cons. I like the small ones. I like the big ones. But if you like monsters and horror and stuff, the one you got to go to is the Chicago G-Con. It's a big Godzilla fest. It is like the best con to go to. If you like giant monster movies, the vendors are all that related. There's not like you go to Tidewater Comic Con and you find anime here, swords here, knickknacks there that have nothing to do with anything at the con. You go to G-Con, it's all monster stuff. And the costumes at these people do full on movie grade like Godzillas and Mothras and stuff, and do full on battles in the hallways. It is wonderful.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I would recommend go to the Chicago G-Con if you get a chance. It is worth it.
Okay. Okay. Taco Cat, how about you?
I like small con, like anime con, small,
Mhm.
and I like the con. I like con like my best one. Yeah,
Okay.
last time 16, I've been one Comic Con. It's so good. I make people. I make my friend internet on Facebook, and I make somebody. And wow, I got free art one time. Deadpool, and I had the one comic book sign.
Oh,
One
nice.
one time, and last couple of years I go to the Saiyan Moon Day. It's pretty cool. I make people
Nice.
Saiyan Moon Day, and I had
Oh,
one picture.
that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Very good. Very good. Let's see here. Big L, your favorite type of con and what con?
It's kind of a mixed bag for me because I do like the bigger cons, because you do get to see some of the more prominent celebrities, and things like that. However, with that comes, a lot of crowds, and because I hate everybody and I don't like people, I don't like crowds. So uh, it's just one of them things where it's kind of like I said, it's a mixed bag for me. However, the smaller cons, like the library cons, Fantasy, Convivial, places like, and I like those. But I gotta say, my favorite cons are the hotel cons. Those have got to be my absolute favorites, because I get to hang out with my friends. I get to stay up late. The wife allows me to actually, to be a human being for once instead of her little pet. And I get to have fun, and she allows me to drink, and and she kind of takes the muzzle off of me, and takes the straps off my arms. I don't feel like I'm strapped down as much, so I feel like I can have a little more fun when she allows me to do things. She still keeps the wallet chained up, so that's a bad thing. But overall, it's fun, and I'm saying all this because I know she's watching, so I'm giving her a ration here. Um, no, but honestly, the library cons are my favorite because I get to hang out with Miss Liz. I get to drink with Miss Liz. That's that's probably, if you've never gone to a library con and got to drink with Miss Liz, you're missing out. Just plain and simple, you are missing out because that woman can drink some really good bourbon.
Okay.
The hotel cons are the best.
The hotel cons, yes. Mr. Calibus Rand. Go ahead, sir. Tell me what's your favorite.
Hotel cons, hands down, hotel cons. Those, because you can, if your table is staffed well, you can leave, take a nap, do whatever, come back down. You know what I mean? And there's just nothing like being there. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to leave, go all the way home, come back. Those are the perfect cons. As far as big cons are concerned, I mean, we're just coming off the pandemic. We're not just coming off the pandemic, but and everything is in full swing. The actors have just gotten over their actor strike, so they're flooding the conventions now. Even the stunt people are getting love, and that's kind of unheard of because normally nobody would have cared. They only want the big stars, but now we're so hungry for good entertainment. We want everybody, which is great. But I hate people being crowded up, and people don't know when to stop, and they're stopping in the middle of the aisles taking pictures, and you're trying to get through, and then they're the indecisive people, and then they're the half-naked teenage girls that are running around, but they don't want you touching them and all this other stuff. But here you are half naked. Where's your father at? You know what I'm saying? I think we've gotten a little too lax when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have, young ladies walking around like that, and you're not 18 yet. I just think there's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? Personally, call me a prude or not, but when you turn 18, you can do what you want to do. But you know what I mean? In a setting full of old fat guys, I don't think that's a real winning combination. You know what I'm saying? But I thought nothing could beat the 50th anniversary of Star Trek in New York. Um, but I got to hang out at GalaxyCon with 757, and I had a I had a ball. I'll contain my colorful metaphors. I had a ball. I got to see Miss Liz. We got to hang out and talk with the stars and celebrities, and me and Abby were sitting there just having a ball. It was a great time, and it's a larger con. And normally I would prefer a smaller con, a medium con, but that was what I loved. But hotel cons I think are the best. Convivial was a blast, and for a beginning con, you know what I mean? And we were across the room talking to each other, and then we'd run over and sit with each other, take a couple shots, start singing some songs. It was great. And I think as long as you have good people, it doesn't matter the size of the con, but the people you're with, I think that's what makes it great. That's what makes it wonderful. The people that you're with, having that good time. And of course, if you can do it, cosplaying.
Well said.
Calibus, I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
Yeah.
If you don't like skimpy outfits, don't go to Dragon Con, because they are prevalent in Dragon Con. The girls, you're lucky if they're wearing anything. They've got pasties and so
Well
on,
said.
and etc. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't like skimpy outfits on girls or guys, Dragon Con is not the con for you.
Last
Dragon Con.
Last but not least, Master Cram.
Well, I haven't been to too many cons. I have been to the Comic-Con. I've been to like maybe 3 or 4 of them. I would love to do the smaller ones, so that we basically could interact with them, the medium-sized ones that you guys were talking about. But that is one thing that I would love to do a lot more. Yeah, I haven't really been. The only ones I've been to are big ones. So, like, the only experience that I've had is the big ones, and then you're standing in line for like 2 hours to get like 5 minutes or 5 seconds with a celebrity, or you have to get there early so you can get into the seats. So they're doing like the premieres and the previews of different stuff, and you don't really. I mean, I would definitely love the smaller ones, but I've never experienced it. So I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff maybe down the road.
Excellent. Last but not least, guys, I started out in the smaller cons, the library cons. And so that's kind of like where my heart is, because that's where I started out at, So kind of interested in that. With that being said, I got some great news. I'd like to share it with you guys as well. And of course, our viewers, 757 Geek Fandoms and the Cosmic Portal, if they want to sit with us. We do have a table at Iconicon coming soon, and Fantasy. I just got the notice today. So I'll keep back with y'all, let y'all know more. But these are free conventions. They're library conventions, and I'll get back with you more. But guys, it's getting big. Medium-sized cons I recognize as a hotel con, basically, because it's more personal, I think. And then, of course, you get down to Dragon Con, and then it turns into a big convention. And then, of course, you have Galaxy Con, Tidewater Comic Con, Hampton Comic Con. It's just like everybody said here, being with friends, family, talking about your fandoms. Where else would you rather be? So, guys, now we're going to switch gears. Each and every one of us have been to a convention. You've cosplayed, and you have collections all around you. One of the biggest things that I ran into this year at GalaxyCon was some of the newbies that I met. Okay. And we're talking about people that had needed repairs to their costume, and they would come up to the table and ask us for help, or what do I do if I want to get an autograph, or do I need to bring cash? These are the little things that were brought up to me. And then, of course, any advice that you can give about how to be a good cosplayer, or collecting, how to collect without being overspending, or as some of us would say, you need to have several rooms or another room to put it in. So this is your opportunity to shine, give advice. Hey, I ain't afraid. I'll take my notepad down and take some notes too, because y'all have seen something that I might have not have seen. So again, I'm gonna go back to our most veteran person. She's been to pretty much everything. Our first lady of fandoms, Liz. Miss Liz. Now, you give me some advice on a little bit of everything, if you like. Go.
Well, of course, cosplaying, if you're going to do it right. All right?
Okay.
If you're going to do an outfit from whatever genre you're going to do, try to make it, where it actually looks reasonably decent, and it's comfortable for you. Got to make sure it's comfortable. You don't want to be running around in an outfit you're not comfortable in, because you'll just be miserable the whole time. And that's no fun. I always feel sorry for those poor guys in the Stormtroopers outfits, because those things are not comfortable. Now, as far as collecting is concerned, if you're going to collect something, be prepared to have the space to put it in, and hopefully you can show it off. And if you can't, be willing to basically store it or whatever, and try to keep yourself reined in a little bit. Don't overspend, don't overdo it. That's my over the years, that's my best advice is, like Larry says, and like you say, make sure you have a budget and don't go over that budget, because then later on down the road you're going to regret it. And also talk to yourself, do you really, really, really need this? And what are you going to do with it? And where are you going to put it? And I'm at that point in my life where I have to make my mind up. Do I really, really want it? And do I have some place to put it?
Thank you, Miss Liz. Thank you so much. That's awesome, dear. Mr. Brad, do you have some advice or some helpful tips that you would like to share?
Yeah, if you want to go for autographs, try to get there early, because the lines are going to start forming the minute the doors open. If you're going to go into the showroom to buy something, know your limits and don't go over them. And you also got to think about, if you're not going to spend the night there, you've got to carry around whatever you bought all day long. So you got to have somewhere to put it.
Okay. Excellent, sir. We thank you for that. Or if you're at a con that we're at, let me know and you can put your stuff behind the table. That's a little secret. Pro tip there. Taco Cat, how about you, sir? Do you have any advice for anybody?
I agree, Big L in this list about money stuff. You gotta be careful your more you spend money stuff and and how much you spend like eBay internet to eBay is a little sometimes
Okay.
crazy price. eBay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Rob, I know you got some advice. Hit it.
My biggest advice is for people that are cosplaying. 3 things you need to make sure you take with you. You need to take some heavy duty tape, some thread and a needle, and some super glue. Because no matter how good your costume is, it's going to break in some way, and you're going to need to be able to fix it.
Okay. How about for collecting? What advice would you give for collecting?
Set a limit and stick to it. And before you buy it, check around. You might find it cheaper somewhere else.
Okay. And then conventions. How do you handle a convention?
I usually shop around first, see what I want, make sure it's not on another table cheaper, and wait to the end of the day because usually they want to get rid of it so they don't have to take it home, and I can usually get it cheaper.
It's amazing. Great minds think alike. Master Cram, I know you said that you've had some experience with conventions and everything, but by what you've heard, what you've seen, give us as much insight as you can of what you know about.
For going to conventions, I made the mistake. The first one, get there early. Get there early. If you don't get there early, you'll have to deal with the crowds, especially if you're with me. I've only been to large conventions, so you have to deal with the crowds and lines and things. So get there as early as possible. Also, my other thing that's big is do your best because usually I know with the big one that I went to, you were able to go in and out. Um, sometimes it gets expensive, so I want to save my money for things that I want to buy there. So I bring my own food. So sometimes if you want to bring your own food, like a packed lunch or something like that, that usually kind of helps out too, so that I can use my money towards things that I want to do, like getting certain items, things of that nature. With cosplay, uh, I'm the best advice that I can give in regards to that is, as everybody's been saying, make it as comfortable as you possibly can. Because with these conventions that you go to, events that you go to, you have to wear these for a while. It's not like you're going to be wearing these for like 15 minutes and then it's all over with. You have to wear it for a long period of time. So make it as comfortable as you possibly can. And as far as collection is concerned, you don't want anything. I'm a Sith Lord, so you don't want any advice from me. Get it, get everything, spend your money. I can't tell you anything less.
Touche. I can agree with you. Simon posted something up about checking the reviews around the area that you're at the con. That's a great advice as well. And then Marky Mark, I think, put something up too. Yep, a pack lunch as well. So excellent, sir. Thank you. Big L, I know you got some advice. Go for it.
Man, well, everybody already said the budget thing, so I won't belabor that point. But bring cash. First and foremost, if you're at the bigger cons, bring cash. Don't rely on your debit card, your credit card, or whatever, because most time the tables don't take it. They're going to want cash, and you don't want to stand in a line at an ATM machine at a con. It's longer than usually the lines for seeing the celebrity that you're trying to get the autograph from. It's absolutely insane. So that would be number one. Number two, and I usually defer to my wife on this one, is bring the essentials that you're going to need that you don't think you're going to need. Taking a page out of Rob's book, bring that tape, that super glue, scissors, bring needle and thread, bobby pins, safety pins, um, pretty much anything, provisional wise you could think of that you would need for a convention, pen and paper, just all kinds of things. Pack it in some sort of what my wife calls a con bag. As we talk about sometimes having a bug out bag. Those of you who know what a bug out bag is, Av has a con bag that she packs everything in. So when we go to pack up the table, whatever, she's got um, zip ties in there to tie down the lid of the box, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's just things that over the years of going to conventions she's acquired or thought about so that we don't have to worry about not having it next time. As far as when you're at bigger cons, whatever, get to know people. Especially if you want to purchase something or you want to do things, talk to people, get to know them, pay attention to some of the fan forum pages or whatever, because you never know what someone may not want to take back home with them. That they might be a vendor, they don't want to take something home. We wound up getting a really nice, brand new unit for our banner. I priced it online. It's $110. We paid $35 for it cash at GalaxyCon because the person posted on one of the fandom groups that they didn't want to take it home, and I beat someone else to the punch, and that was it. My thing is, when I go to conventions, if it's something I really, or somebody I really want to see, I try to do it on day one if I can, or whatever. I try to get it out of the way just because I want to get the stuff that I want to do out of the way so that I can spend the rest of the time prepping for our panels or whatever. Y'all have to understand that's how my brain operates. Get fun out of the way so that you can work on business and networking. And if you got time for fun later on, then we do that. But again, go in with a plan, go in with cash, know that you have an agenda, and stick to that agenda. Not just your budget, stick to your agenda. Don't try to, move things around or whatever and conform to someone else's agenda. Set your own and have fun with it. When it comes to cosplaying, be your own person. There can be only one Miss Liz. There can be only one Big L. There can be only one Jedi Joe. So be yourself and show your true self. Don't try to conform to anyone else's thoughts of who you're supposed to be. And when you're cosplaying and you're doing it for the love of the fandom, it's not wrong. Whether somebody says, well, that might not be movie accurate or series accurate or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're having fun with it, then you're having fun with it. If you're going for that, then, spend more time on it. But if you're going for it to have fun, then make sure you keep that in the back of your mind if someone makes any negative comments to you. Other than that, just have fun. The biggest advice I can give anybody is go in and have fun. The first convention I ever went to with Jedi Joe, it was more, I was in awe of everything. And, I was so thankful to be there. I was running around like a chicken with his head going, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to help out? Because I was just so thankful to be there. So go in and have fun with it.
Excellent. Excellent, sir. Calibus Ran. Go ahead, sir. Lay that advice down.
Everybody's really kind of covered it. Take cash, have fun. Make sure you have your, you make sure you have your extra stuff in case something goes wrong. Extra clothes. Things could go wrong. You know what I mean? You might need an extra change of pants or something rips open, or something is bound to happen negative that you need to be prepared for. I would suggest bringing your food always. As far as collecting goes, I don't. I collect certain things that I like out of my fandoms. I don't collect everything. It's like Batman. There's only certain Batman things I will collect: Batmobiles, vehicles, some vehicles, and stuff like that. And when it starts going into Aqua Suit Batman and all that, that's not Batman. I don't do that. So, it just depends on what you're into, but you have to budget it. As somebody who budgets my household expenses, it really hurts sometimes when you have to let that go when you wanted it, but it's a want, not a need. You know what I mean? And if you truly want it, you'll save up for it, even if it's $5 a month to go ahead and get this big thing. Like I said, a lot of the times they will say, "Hey, Moff Gideon's bucket is going to be available in 2025." Okay, well, it's 2024. I've got a whole year to figure out how I'm going to get this money up to get this bucket. And when you cosplay, just have fun with it. It doesn't matter what other people are going to say about your cosplay. If you like it, and you and your friends, especially if you get together with your friends and you're all doing something. The biggest experience for me now is that we are trying to do the Court of Owls cosplay, all of us. So I've been looking online, trying to get me a nice looking suit together. You know what I mean? I really want that part to go off well. And the guy that wrote the Court of Owls is going to be at Tidewater Comic-Con. So I think that'd be kind of cool, especially if we can get him to take a picture of all of us together as the Court of Owls. I think that would be kind of hot. But, just have fun with it. That's all I can say. Just have fun with it. Get with a good group of friends. That's the best part, because a convention is great, but when you have a group of friends that you're going with, it just makes it better.
Okay. Miss Liz, did you have something?
I just thought of something, which is exactly how I started out with my conventions, is volunteer.
Okay.
You get to know anybody and everybody. When you start volunteering, you sometimes it's work, but sometimes it can be the best fun you could ever have. And that's how you get to know people.
I've heard that before.
And work the conventions.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it for the big conventions, because basically that one's a little bit more work than it is fun.
Sure.
I've done that twice, and I wouldn't recommend it.
All right. Well, we'll appreciate that. So, guys, for me, collecting. My biggest problem about collecting is buying something that I really like and then putting it up somewhere in a box and forgetting about it, not displaying it. So if you buy something and you're proud of it, display it. Cosplay it. Another weakness that I have, even though I have a few and I bought a few, I have my own trials and tribulations. Number one, research your character. Number two, anything that you have to buy or have made, look into prices. And probably the biggest thing is don't be afraid to make mistakes, because I have that problem. And, I don't like to fail. I don't like to start something and then all of a sudden I can't finish it, because I feel like I wasted my time. So that's a big issue that I have over my head when I'm cosplaying or thinking about cosplaying. On the convention scene, first time going to a con, you're not going to see everything. So don't expect to see everything. Have a game plan. Even if it's one thing, make sure you see that one thing, and then the rest will fall into place. True story. GalaxyCon this past year. I was waiting in line for Peter Culling on, I believe it was Sunday. and it took longer than I ever expected. And thank goodness that we had our good staff, we had good people at the table. We sent messages and everything, letting them know where we were at and everything. But the issue is that we were apart for so long, it was unexpected. So make sure that you let your friends know, where you're at and everything. So then they don't think that they've abandoned you or you have abandoned them. But be prepared for long lines. Have lots of patience. But I think that's what I've learned a lot. And this one particular character, one particular guy that was in line with me was his first time there. And he turned around and says, I can't believe the people that are here. Expect a lot of people. And then we had a gentleman to come to our table that needed some repairs. And Miss Abby, trying to use her con bag, she had everything in the bag that you could possibly imagine, except for the small one little thing. And she apologized to him. He was no problem, but yet she was prepared. Also, batteries, extra batteries. If your cosplay has batteries, check them before you come and have extra. Calibus Rand, I understand we have some shows coming up. Would you like to let everybody know what that is before we skip out?
No, sir. No, we have Path to a Galaxy Far, Far Away, and Jedi Joe has thought about a new show that we're going to talk about with lightsaber battles. So that is coming soon. We've already got the intros for them. Everything is already ready to go. They're all to be announced. I think we do Path to a Galaxy Far, Far Away this Saturday, though.
Okay. And then Matriarchs of Fandom is coming soon as well?
No, Matriarchs of Fandom is not coming until the 16th of May.
Okay.
We've got some things that we're doing. We're bringing in, we're going to have a guest arriving on the show.
Awesome.
So we had her on the show before, and I think it's going to be fun. May 16th, Matriarchs of Fandom. Blurs, I don't know. Blurs might not be this weekend either.
Okay.
But, every 2 weeks, the shows will go back into rotation. You guys can catch us every 2 weeks, so you know that Roundtable was this week. Next week, no. The following week, yes. We will be back. We're all back in rotation, doing our thing. And if anything comes up, one of us three will remind you guys of, hey, this is going on. It'll either be Big L, Jedi Joe, or myself, letting everyone. Yes, sir.
Dogs of Gotham will not come back until after we do the Court of Owls cosplay at Tidewater Comic Con.
All right.
I cannot wait for that because I know we're going to tear that. I mean, that after that convention, we are going to tear that down.
I just ordered my Grand Owl cloak.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm very excited about that. I mean, we're coming up with more shows. Mark and I have come up with Lord Cram and I have we've started the Galaxy of the Galactic Coalition, of course, with Jedi Joe and Rob Ash. And it's a Star Wars page promoting all the Star Wars groups that we're all in. We push it all over there just to have everything, kind of centrally located and just passing information amongst us. So it's a great little thing. But I'm excited because we are going down a bigger road. So a Path to a Galaxy Far, Far Away this Saturday. Jedi Joe, Rob, and myself. Lord Cram will be there. We welcome anyone else if he wants to come and join us and talk with us. And then, of course, we will be announcing our Saber show that Jedi Joe will be coming up with a name for. Oh, you already got a name, right, Joe?
Yep. Saber Talk.
So Saber Talk will be coming up soon. As soon as Jedi Joe decides when we want to do it, we'll be putting that one on. And that's going to be, again, lightsabers, techniques, talking about lightsabers. It's going to be a great show.
Well, guys, with that being said, I'd like to say thank you to Mark, Simon, and Wyatt, and anybody else that chimed in what's going on. So really do appreciate everybody posting in and interacting with us. If you haven't done it by now, please subscribe to the Cosmic Portal channel. There's always something going on. If you don't know nothing about the Virginia Imperial Renegades, please check them out as well. They also have different events. Of course, Master Krem has a Sith page that you can also link up to as well. He'll put that on the Geek Fandoms page. Guys, that's all I have for y'all tonight. I'll leave you what I'll always leave you with. Live long and prosper. May the Force be with you. Hey, Nanu Nanu, and guess what? We will be back. Take care, guys, and roll out.
Thanks for watching. This has been a Cosmic Portal production.